So the hardware too. We'll talk a little bit about the original tooling, and what we mean when we say that is, when the custom shop first started, they went out. Bill really wanted them to go out and find all those original machines that they made, that they used to make the guitars in the 50s and 60s, as much as they possibly could. And a lot of it is still in use today. Some of them have been refurbished, some of them are breaking down a little bit, but for the most part, they're really dedicated to doing this. And a cool story is Joe and I were out in the custom shop, and one of the master builders took us over to a machine, and there was a gentleman working kind of like a punch press, and he was just making these Strat input jacks, and that's all he was doing all day. And he proceeded to tell us that he'd been with Fender since the 1960s, and he'd been working on this machine, making these input jacks. It's the same guy, same machine since the 1960s. Now, obviously, that's not going to affect your tone. It's not going to make the guitar sound different. But I think it really just highlights what we call the mojo up there, and the dedication to doing things a certain way, and being as steadfast as we can.
The saddles, the bridge block, the punch press for the pick guard.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things on these guitars that we make today in the custom shop that were on the guitars that Jeff Beck used, that Hendrix played, that the Beatles played, that made the music that you've had with you all of your life. For me, that's a trip when I think about it. This gentleman took us over to a wall of original tooling, and he was explaining, this is from 1958, this is what it did. And again, we work there, this is what we do every day, and dude, I welled up. I was overwhelmed. Paul Waller was with us, another master builder.
Yeah,
he was getting a little emotional.
Yeah.
It was that moment where it's like, I work at a company that has affected so many people's lives, and these tools right here were like, that was the beginning.
And I always like to say they might not be doing things the easiest way. There might be an easier way to do it, but it's that dedication to, like, look, if I'm building a 57 Strat, I'm going to do it as close to the way that they did in 1957, which is
that was one of the things.
amazing.
That was one of the things that Bill Schultz had put into us. It's like, I want to do things the way Leo did it back in the day. We still do that today.
Yeah.
I mean, gone are the days of pin routing every body out and band sawing all the bodies out. We still do that to effect for custom stuff, but we have new machinery to cut out our bodies and necks and stuff like that. But all the handwork behind it, the sanding, the fretting, all that stuff is still done by hand the way that Leo's guys did it back in the day.
Every angle is hand sanded. Every angle on every guitar.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Shape. It's
that
awesome.
combined with all the tooling that we use for punch presses, for all the bridges, for everything, is still the same as it was for Hendrix, and now it's going to be the same for you.
It's one thing
That's
for us to talk
pretty cool.
about, but seeing it, we talk about it all the time, but seeing it is just, it brings it.